So, Amanda Smithers has worked in the sector for the past 7 years, initially as the coordinator at Illawarra Legal Centre, and then as a senior project officer with NCOSS, working in the management support unit. She's currently working as a senior policy officer in the area of sector capacity building with NCOSS. Prior to coming to the sector, she had extensive experience in the local government and university sectors as both a librarian and a manager. In 2013, Council of Social Services of New South Wales, NCOSS, was approached by FACTS to support and contribute to the development of an NGO Engagement Strategy. A major component of this work was a statewide sector survey. The research was completed by the Social Policy Research Centre. And it's in this workshop Amanda will provide an overview of those results, plus provide an opportunity to discuss some of those and provide feedback for next year. And discussion, I'm sure, being the key point.
Yeah.
So without further ado, Amanda.
Hi. If you want to break in, ask me questions any time or raise a point, please do so. I'd like this to be as interactive as possible because my slides are all graphs, so they are seriously boring. Except I don't think they are because I confess I'm a statistics tragic. So I'm hopefully going to be able to make you as interested in my stats as I am, which might be hard, but anyway. There are approximately 2,500 community sector, what I would consider our sector, organisations in New South Wales. By my estimate, and based on the figures that we got from FACTS, there's about 1,250 who are funded by FACTS. So your sector, your part of our sector is a very significant part of the sector, and it's actually a very interesting part. Last year, FACTS approached us to assist us with the development of their NGO Engagement Strategy. And the purpose of it, the part of the project that we were given was to do some case studies, which were of a couple of the reform processes. We actually did 3 case studies. One was of a procurement approach by an organisation called United Ways, I think. I'm trying to remember. But that was a procurement process, and we chose that because it had very positive feedback from the people who participated in it in terms of its processes. But we also had a look at community builders, and we also looked at the health NGO sector. We did not do the homelessness services reforms that were going on at the time. That was a deliberate decision. There was concern that we didn't want to be shot as the messenger. And at the time we were doing the research, emotions were fairly high and probably still are for a large part. So we don't want to touch that until it can be dealt with a bit more objectively and with a bit more distance. But that was our reasoning. Both the community builders and the health reforms both have got some really good aspects to them, very, very positive. Both have got some not so fantastic aspects to them. But we backed that up with a survey with SPRC. And we distributed the survey thanks to FACTS, who very, very kindly was able to give us access to the health funded organisations, and NCOSS's connections gave us some other organisations within the sector. So the survey was distributed to, and I think we should be, yes, to approximately, yes, how many? 1,532 organisations. And we got a response rate of 576, which is fantastic because that gets us over the point where we can claim that it has statistical validity. There's this reference point in statistics, and until you've crossed that, you can't make claims about your data, whereas we've actually crossed it. If you're operating primarily across the state, you're less likely to be participating in interagency. You're less likely to be working closely to support users, service users. You're less likely to be involved in planning local services or exchanging information. But interestingly, you are more likely to be involved in collaborating with other NGOs around developing positions on policy issues and the like, which is quite fascinating. So, improving our engagement. The final part of the survey was, of the project, was to do a report to FACTS. And in that, we made 11 recommendations. Unfortunately, the report is still not public. Not sure when it's going to be, but we're hoping it will be soon. But we made 11 recommendations. They are primarily around being very supportive of the strategic, the engagement strategy. Not just, we were very supportive of it being not just for FACTS, but for being for across government. But we also identified responsibilities particularly for peaks, ourselves for example, where we had a role to play, particularly around the capacity building to encourage and develop the sector's skill to be more engaged with government. So to be more involved in policy development and in government committees and all of that sort of stuff. But also making sure that your voices are heard in terms of where the reforms are not effective or are not achieving what had been anticipated, or how that process could be improved. We do a lot of work in that area, all the peaks do a lot of work in that area, but obviously we need to work harder. So, as I said, the survey report, the case studies, and there was also a literature review as well. That's all available online on NCOSS's website. If you can't find it, I have to confess, our website is in the process of being redesigned. It's a little bit hit and miss as to whether you find it. My email is amanda@ncoss.org.au. If you want to find it and you're having troubles, just let me know. And I'll send you the link if that one doesn't work. I'm hoping, when I did this it worked, but things change. Now, this is the other thing. We are doing the survey again in 2015, after the election. We are now beginning the planning process for it. And yes, okay, these are the things that we thought were important, were significant. But we would be very, very interested in having any feedback from you about what you want to know about our sector. So the meeting is on the 25th of November. If you can get any feedback to me about what you particularly would like to know more about, or you feel that we could drill down further, I really want to know that. It would be really helpful for me, because it's all very nice that this is great for academics and it's great for us, but it's not about that. It should be good for you too. It should be stuff that you can dig into to support your claims when you're applying for philanthropic or government funding, when you're trying to sell yourselves to corporates, when you're trying to sell yourself to your own clients. It's really useful stuff. And all the talk about measuring impact, this gives you at least some indicator, some background about what you're part of. Again, it can be really useful for that sort of thing as well. So if you see that, particularly in measuring impact, if you think that there's a way that we can incorporate questions which will help you with that, we're really interested in hearing from you.